listeners, and welcome to episode 370 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for April 23rd, 2022. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
Just not much, man. It's been a pretty quiet week, at least for me it has. So,
Same.
yeah, even really much happening. Oh, that's really big and newsworthy. Well, nothing no different than last week.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, let's get down. Let's just get right to it. As far as like sports goes, ain't really much to talk about. I mean, the playoffs is really what it is for basketball. You have a few upsets, like games going longer than I think it should. I think the NBA is putting their hands on this to really push these games out. Well, the one surprise is, I'm going to call it a surprise because Boston is technically better than Brooklyn, but people expected more out of Brooklyn, to be competitors. One didn't lose, but Kevin Durant hasn't looked good, and then Kyrie didn't look good the last game. He looked great the first game, and then the last game didn't look good.
Yeah.
And Boston wasn't even playing good either, but they still won, and so that's not good for Brooklyn. Maybe they can bounce back when they come back, when they go home now, and they're going to be in Brooklyn to beat them. But another surprise, Atlanta beating Miami last night. I was watching the game, and they only lost by 1 point. Atlanta must have came back because Miami was winning the game by a good margin, I could have sworn. And yeah, I don't know what the hell happened, but yeah, so that's that. What else happened? Oh, actually, I don't know if they had a big lead, honestly. I just figured they would win. I figured they would win because, they were just so much better than Atlanta. But I guess Atlanta they just won one of their games at home. So I guess maybe they just took care of their home court.
Yeah.
So that's good. Good for them. But other than that, yeah, it's nothing really like a big surprise in these playoffs happening so far. Most of the teams are just finally playing at the other person's home. So you can really see if those teams can really hold up or the other team can take it over. Because that's usually when it starts. Playoffs really starts when the other team plays the other team's home to see, like, hey, if they're just going to be on their home court, it's like, okay, the series could be over.
Yeah.
But so far, it seems like the teams that are supposed to win, except for Miami, they have won. Like Phoenix beat New Orleans at their home, and Milwaukee beat the Bulls pretty convincingly at their home. So, like, the big series is still Boston-Brooklyn because of what Brooklyn is, the players they have. Dallas is, I guess, you can say Dallas is a surprise. I'm disappointed in Utah because they didn't have their best player, Luka Doncic. I was expecting them just to be like, go ahead and win. I think Utah, they say, Utah's going to win. Well, they won the first game, but they lost the last two. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, they don't have their best player playing at all. Why are you like what's happening? You got a full team. Like, you have a full team. Well, mostly full. I think it's mostly full. I think one person is injured, maybe. I'm not sure. I think it's one person. But still, like, you should be better than them. And they're up 2-1. And like Doncic is coming back for game 4. Possibly.
Okay.
So I'm like, Dallas, man, they might win. Or it'll be so funny if Doncic comes back and they start losing. The best player is the reason why we lost because he came back and played. He shouldn't have played any of the games. It's looks bad for Utah. Like, Utah should be up right now. They had a chance to be up 3-0. They should have been up 3-0. Really, realistically. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, so that's it for basketball. Baseball. So early in the season. Orioles, they have won 3 more games since I last talked. They are now 5-9, I want to say. 5-10. I forget what it is. But it seems 3 of those games that they won, I think they were shutouts. Because that's what it came down to. I came like, man, it seems like we only can win if we don't let the other team score. Like, at all. Like, they can't score at all. Because I think we won a game 1-0. And I was like, darn, man. So I'm surprised our pitching held them off. I guess the pitcher's been doing okay. Like, our bats have been quiet. Like, we don't score a lot of runs as of right now, I know our top hitter from last year, he's struggling a bit early, but it's still early. So, yeah, we'll see how the time goes on. I just hope they don't be the worst team in Major League Baseball. Or I just want them to at least be in the top 10 of the bottom. You know, just something like that's decent, like not too horrible.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather be like middle of the pack team. I mean, they got a hard ass division. Like everybody in the division is pretty good. Like you can basically see all those teams being in the playoffs potentially. Like they have you have the Yankees, you have Boston, you have Toronto's good, and Tampa Bay's good. So, and then you got the Orioles. It's like this is sad. This is so sad that I said, like, can we just trade with somebody in another division because we can't compete with these teams right now. I don't know how we're gonna ever compete. I mean, hopefully a lot of these young cats turn out to be really great.
Yeah.
But
and we'll trade them away immediately.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, if you can hold them you can hold them for a certain amount of years. It's like you got to hope you win while they're really young.
Yeah.
A lot of times they be good, but it's not like the whole team can be good. There'll be like a few players that's good, and then they'll leave. Yeah, it sucks. Other than that, I don't really know any news like football in here about anything. I know the draft is coming up, so I mean, and if you know this podcast, I don't really pay attention to the draft because I was like, I don't care if those people are on the field to know what the hell they're going to do.
Yeah.
All right. So you got any wrestling news? Any big wrestling news happening?
One kind of huge thing to discuss. AEW this week announced that they are doing a AEW cross New Japan co-promotional pay-per-view, basically.
Okay.
It's going to take place in Chicago in, I believe it's June. So that's pretty big news. I mean, they've been kind of working with each other. Some New Japan talent showing up on AEW recently, even some AEW people showing up on New Japan Strong, which is their America-based program that shoots out of LA. That's really cool. They're also doing a show. Well, New Japan is doing a show in DC in May. I think it's around the end of May. And they have already announced to have like quite a few people from AEW in there. John Moxley will be there, Eddie Kingston. And AEW is doing a show at UMBC at the beginning of May. So it's not too... Yeah, actually, it's not the end of May. It's like the middle of May because it's not the following weekend after the AEW show, but it's the next weekend. So it's not surprising that like you're starting to see a little bit of that talent kind of bleed over into the other promotion stuff, and especially with this announcement now, it seems like, you know, they're going to build up to that a little more. So that should create some pretty cool matchups. I don't think we're quite going to get like Okada versus Kenny Omega 5 or whatever match they're up to now. Because one, Kenny Omega is still injured, and he will probably be out for quite a while recovering. And also, I just don't know that they're at a point where they're going to put like their top talent up against each other and just not be concerned with who comes out of that on top, right? Like you can't have your champion versus their champion because it's just going to be an argument between the two companies about who's actually going to win that match, right? But I'm sure they'll still put on some really good wrestling matches. New Japan likes to do a lot of like multi-man tag matches, and since AEW also kind of has their roster broken up into factions, I could foresee getting a couple of those just to get everybody on the card and a lot of the talent just on that show for people to be excited about. So that's huge news. When Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks left New Japan to start AEW, it sounded like there was a lot of bad blood there and kind of tarnished any potential relationship. And that's slowly come around. We've seen guys on the show. Minoru Suzuki has showed up a lot on AEW. And it's cool to finally see that just kind of come to a point and get like this quote unquote super show, you know, and if it becomes an annual thing, that would be really cool. So that's kind of the big news of the week for wrestling.
Okay. All right. So I guess we get into what we've been watching. So I'll start off.
Okay.
All right. So Better Call Saul has started. Its final season, I believe. Now I forgot. I don't know if it's a two-parter, like they show a part one of the season and part two. I'm not sure because a lot of shows be doing that now for the last seasons, and I hate it. I always hated it. Like they did that for Ozark on Netflix, and that's why I haven't watched it. And this one, see, I forgot, so I watched it. But I'll watch it, and if it comes to be a two-part, I'll just be angry and just yell and write evil letters. But then I'll get over it and watch the second part the next year or whatever it starts. So I only watched the first episode now because there's been two. It was like a special where they had 2 episodes on the first night.
Oh, okay.
The first episode, it was pretty good. This show is, I've come to terms with it. Like it's almost just as good or maybe just as good as Breaking Bad. Like I enjoy it just the same, and it's done very well.
That's very cool.
So yeah, it's coming to an end. I mean, I'm sad, but I'm happy because if it has the possibility of ending on a good note instead of like milking it like for so many seasons. Also I watched Peaky Blinders. Now that's only on for BBC, and I watched the first episode, and I believe this is the final season for that also. If you don't remember, I talked about this. Peaky Blinders is more of a gang show back in the early the early 1930s, late 1920s, after the First War. Basically, it's like in between World War One, World War Two. Now it's kind of fast forward to like 1933 now, so it's about a few more years till World War Two even happens. But I know the Nazi Party is becoming big because I think Hitler did a lot of his shit around this time, a lot of his speeches. So, but I mean, not that it has nothing to do with that. I mean, because like last season, I remember talking about they were going against a guy who was of the Nazi Party. And this time, shit happened. Things starting off like on a bad note with the main character and his cousin. Because the lady who played his Aunt Polly, she passed away in real life. So they had to write it in a way that she's gone. And the way they wrote it in was pretty good. And it kind of starts off the beef between him and his cousin. The cousin is that was his mother. So he's angry because he said because of him she got killed because of what his decisions. So he's like, I'm going to get revenge on him, and he knows that's his tension. Like, and I think the main character knows that that's what he wants because they dislike each other, and he's now in the U.S. Like he's been doing business in the U.S. So he kind of left the group and been working with this other guy. I mean, they're still kind of partnerish. Like it's almost like a Russia kind of thing with America. Like tensions are high, but you still do some business. Well, not now, but I'm talking about before the Ukraine stuff. But that's really the story. That's how it starts out. So like I don't know what's going on. Well, the other family looks like his other brother, the older brother. He's just a drunk. But technically he was always a drunk because I mean they're like what Irish gypsies, so you know. It's but he is like more of a drunk. Like it seemed like he was drinking just at excess, like and doing drugs too. He's doing a lot of opium. Because what happened in the previous season, I guess it's just taking its toll. Oh, I think Polly dying too. I think he is just out of it.
Right.
So yeah, it starts off going to be good. Like I'm curious how this season goes, how this season ends, and I guess we could talk about Moon Knight since we both seen it. This episode, I mean, it was all right. I was really really hoping this was like a flashback episode, but unfortunately, it's not. And I was hoping when they did, okay, spoilers, when they did go to wherever world they're in now with the whole like psych ward stuff. Yeah. I was hoping that when Steven came out, he'll be like, look like a totally different person or something. Like it'd be like, okay, that's the real Steven. But now I'm thinking like, okay, who's the real guy? And like, what is, I still want to know what they are. Like, it's like, how did this become to have these personalities? And like, and not them knowing, well, not him knowing, Steven knowing himself.
Right.
For all these years? Or like, how long has it been? I mean, I see they did something like I see in most movies, like something that the hero did in the past that affects the person that they love or something, and now the villain uses that against them. You know, they say like, "Oh, he has something to do with your father's death" to the girl. And I was like, "Oh God, here we go." But it was okay episode. I mean, it wasn't bad or nothing. I mean, it was all right. It progressed the story a bit. And that weird shit that happened at the very end was pretty weird. The hippopotamus talking and shit. But yeah. So what do you think about it?
I really liked the tomb raiding stuff at the beginning. You know, the go in and finding Alexander the Great's tomb and
the Indiana Jones stuff. Yeah.
I don't know about the zombie stuff. Like, I don't know where that's going. I mean, honestly, I don't know where any of it's leading to. And I guess that's like you said with the hoping it was going to be kind of a flashback. I'm hoping that's where this stuff ends up with the psych ward is. I don't know if it needs to be a flashback or a flash forward or a flash in between or whatever. Cause like, we don't know, is the psych ward the reality? Is the Indiana Jones stuff the reality? Where is Mark? I mean, seemingly Mark is the main personality, right? Because he's the one that wakes up in the psych ward, and then he frees Steven. And then you see that third sarcophagus, so there could be like another personality that they
the one we didn't see.
Yeah, the one that killed the kid on the roof or whatever. And that's I wonder if like he says his partner killed her father, but like could it have been his third personality that killed?
Oh yeah, I guess that's yeah.
Yeah, and
I was thinking that anyway when they said about kill, I thought he must have killed him, her father. But then when he said partner, I was like, okay, oh.
But I mean, I guess the fact that he also almost died before getting resurrected by Khonshu, I guess, you know, maybe leads me to believe that it is actually, you know, her father or whatever, I guess. Or not, his partner, I mean.
His partner, yeah.
Like a physical different person. I really wonder where it's going with this. Like, I don't know if I necessarily anticipated them to go this route of, you know, it at some point going to a psych ward. I mean, I know that's a part of these Moon Knight stories that I've heard. You know, I'm not really familiar with the series outside of just the bits that I've heard here and there. But I really wonder just like what is going on? What is the real world? Is he like inside of his head? Is it like 3 layers deep? Are we going Inception with this or where we're going? You know, it's got, I think this was the 4th one, right? So 2 episodes left to get wherever it's going to get. And, I mean, just like with all Marvel shows, I feel like, you know, here we are at this kind of tipping point, and then the next 2 episodes will just basically be like run and gun till the end. You know, that's how it always ends up being. But I just wonder what they're going to be doing in those episodes. Like, where does this go? That doesn't feel like there's the same like level of natural progression as there is in some of the other series. Cause like, I don't expect like this climactic fight between him and Arthur Harrow, like unless he gets possessed by, you know, Amit's deity or whatever and gets a suit of his own, and that just seems, I don't know,
it's a black suit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. He's the Moon Knight, he's the Sun Knight, but somehow he's got a black suit. I don't know. Dayman, there's the joke. Yeah, so I like this episode. It's, you know, it's getting somewhere. I just want to see where it's going.
All right, so what you watch?
I watched the Batman, well, I guess Thor trailer real quick. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it since you didn't watch it and aren't going to watch it. It doesn't really set up the story too much. It's really just kind of a teaser trailer setting up that Thor is kind of trying to figure out where his place in the world is, getting back in shape. And then, of course, at the end, they they give you a little bit of something with seeing Jane Foster getting Mjolnir in the Thor armor. But you don't see any of the Gore the God Butcher stuff. You don't see any of the like actual struggle that's going to happen in this movie. So I'm
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. What the hell is Gore the God Butcher?
So Christian Bale is playing Gore the God Butcher. He's going to be the big bad in this movie. And basically he is some like alien race that hates the gods because they let his family die. And then he goes on this, excursion to kill all of the gods. Thor being one of them. I don't know in the comics whether he kills Thor. I don't think so. I don't know, but I think he kills like a whole bunch of gods. So yeah, could be some Egyptian gods. Like in,
so does Thor still have that other,
he has Stormbreaker in the trailer, okay. But he's like, there's a scene of him planting it. Like he's moving away from being a god. Like maybe he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like he's resigned to not be a hero. I don't know. Cause like there's a montage of him getting in shape to become, skinny Thor again, fit Thor. And then it's also kind of like, I'm going to lay my hammer down, and Valkyrie's got Asgard. She's taking care of that. And I don't know. Cause then there's also a little bit of him hanging out with the Guardians of the Galaxy, but that's just like a small little thing of like, oh, that's funny. Cause he's, Peter Quill's talking about like looking at the people that you love. And he's like staring Peter Quill in the eyes. Like he's, he loves him. Yeah, it's okay, but it's not gotten me super excited about seeing it as much as like what I'm hoping to see in the next trailer, which is actually setting up what the story is going to be for this. So,
okay.
Yeah. And then I also did watch the Batman. It went up on HBO Max this past week. I watched it last night and I thought it was fantastic. You had previously talked about it a little bit being more a kind of detective movie in the vein of like a Seven or even the Zodiac movie.
Yes.
And it's definitely that, it has a more kind of lingering pace to it. It's not high action, but there is still good like quality fighting in there. It's very cool, very stylized. Outside of like the stuff at the end that you see, a lot of it is, as you would maybe expect from a Batman thing, in the shadows and very dramatically lit. It looks really cool. I like a lot of the stuff where they're like, when he's like breaking into the club and you're just seeing all these like flashing lights as he's just like swatting people away. That stuff's cool. Overall story, I think, was really good. I was telling you before we started recording, there's a lot packed into that movie, and it's not necessarily bad. Like, I like all the pieces, but it almost feels like you could have left some of that for something else and still gotten kind of to the same place. But I think a lot of it is just pieces to the full progression of what the Batman character is by the end of the movie. So I think in a lot of ways they are necessary, and maybe it's just the way that they're portrayed. Like I was telling you, there are a lot of moments that feel like the climax of the movie, and then, it just goes on to the next scene and you're like, wait a second, I thought we were getting down to the end of this. And I never felt like that because I knew how long the movie was. But overall, it just feels like almost Lord of the Ringsy, where it's like, oh, there's the ending of the movie. Nope.
Oh yeah,
still more. But I think casting wise, they did a really good job. I think everybody is incredible in the roles that they play. I think Robert Pattinson's a good Batman.
Yeah, he's a good Batman.
And I appreciate the fact that I think you talked about it a little bit, but you don't see a lot of Bruce Wayne. It really is the Batman movie. Because really, I feel like outside of the funeral, you don't see Bruce Wayne at all. You see him outside of the Batman cowl a little bit. But
yeah, you don't see him out in the public.
Yeah, even then, he's still the Batman. He's
Yeah.
dark and brooding, and he's got a lot of the scenes. He's still got the eye paint on, which is funny because you don't see that a lot in the other ones. It's like, oh yeah, he took his mask off, and all of a sudden, like, how are his eyes blacked out before, but they're not now? And this,
yeah,
it's
it makes
just like,
sense.
oh yeah, he wears makeup all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I really liked it a lot. I think they've got a good footing. They've got a good idea of what they need to do with a Batman movie now, and I'm excited to see what they do next.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm curious what to do. I mean, I hope it's good. I hope it's from this movie. Like, it's gonna be high expectations from this movie.
And you've already got the Penguin there. He's not quite the fish eating penguins with missiles on his back guy yet, but
he's good. I mean, they did it in a way that, like, it's still almost Nolan-esque in that realistic way of a Batman world. So I'm thinking I'm assuming they're gonna probably stick the guns to stay in the realistic realm. Yeah. And not go too off the realm. Like, yeah,
because you even just look at the Riddler and you see that's not. Yeah. Doesn't seem like that's the route they're going.
He don't got the suit with question marks on and with the top hat or a fedora or whatever.
Or the bodysuit like Jim Carrey.
Yeah, that too. So yeah, he looked like he wore trash bags. I don't know what the fuck it was. He's just some and like what was that guy? That guy I guess is supposed to be the Joker. And like what's that going to be in his universe? Is it going to be he the main guy, or just going to be he was just a little teaser thing or whatever? Like, I'm here. But
yeah, because I honestly like having seen, because they put out on YouTube like an extended thing of the Joker, and I thought that was like, oh, they just put out the stinger or whatever that was part of the movie, but I watched through the credits and there wasn't anything, so I was kind of surprised by that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I didn't watch that extended scene either on YouTube. I might check it out now. Because I thought it was going to be there too, but maybe it's in the Blu-ray when it comes out, or something like that. Maybe they added to that, because I think the Blu-ray don't come out till May sometime. I think I read somewhere.
I think that's right.
So this was great. Yeah, I was surprised because I really thought it was going to be just okay. Like, say, oh, this is okay, Batman. I mean, it's not. I didn't think it was going to be bad like none of the like Snyder's stuff, but I didn't expect it to be this good. All right, so I guess we get to what we're playing. So I guess you can go ahead because you played the Tunic.
Yeah, so just again more Tunic this week. Still rocking that with the no damage mode on, and I'm really enjoying it much more that way. I was definitely kind of...
You're a cheater. You're an awful gamer, Daniel.
I do not care. I am enjoying it so much more not having to worry about that stuff.
I'm going to tell all those people, those Twitter people, like, say, this guy's playing Tunic in freaking no damage mode, like, just where they harass you.
Yep, that's absolutely fine. Because the thing about it is, like, you spend so much time, or at least I have, exploring and like needing to go back to an area because like I can't figure out where I'm supposed to go next, that if I heal at a shrine or whatever, all the enemies will respawn again and I have to deal with them again. And it's just like it becomes a chore trying to get anywhere in that game. And maybe it's just my skill level, but I don't care. I will take my no damage and swipe my way through all these guys and keep moving on, because really I just want to see that game. Like, booting it up again, I was just like, oh, this game is so pretty. Like, it's like I forgot how good the game looked, and then now I'm getting to a point where I'm seeing some different environments and stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is just as beautiful as the other stuff I've seen, but in a cool, different style and different way. So yeah, I'm having a good time with that game. Still kind of creeping through. I'm not getting a lot of time to play it, but I'm putting an hour here and there in, so it's good. So what have you been playing, Dominic?
All right, so I've been playing I play a little bit more Lego Star Wars. I believe, where am I at now? I just got to Tatooine. I haven't done the pod race yet. But it's like these worlds now are more open. Like they're not just, streamlined, like, you just follow this path like in the other Lego games. You can go a lot of places. It's almost kind of a bad thing too, because it's like, oh, I'm just going to keep going to places, and then you can break break not everything, but you can still break stuff and get some more studs. And I was like, darn, I can't. I had to stop myself. Say, stop getting studs and just get through this story. Like to keep continuing. Also, I know you could this. Excuse me. There's a lot of stuff to unlock. Like I was unlocking like some characters that you can even replace, because one time I just had the old Obi-Wan instead of the young Obi-Wan there. That was an accident. I wanted to get back to the young Obi-Wan, but I didn't know how. I was like, oh, I don't know how to get back to it. It automatically goes back to him when it's the main storyline. Something happens. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't find it. It was like I was looking all over. It's like, hey, where's young Obi-Wan? Fucking turn him back. And I don't know. I don't know what the hell the deal with that was. Maybe I have to unlock him, but that doesn't make any sense. It should just like revert back to him. Anyway, like each character has their own unique skills, just like in the original one. But this time, like the actual combat is different. Like they have their own different type of combos. It's the same buttons, but they do something totally different. Like, in the old Legos game, if you just hit the people without lightsabers or something, they just punch. And, people with guns, like, they use a gun. If you mash hit, they'll just shoot the gun. Mm. And then you lightsaber. But they added a lot more to this. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's just that I get lost in the openness of it. And then they have side quests too. They're like, hey, can you get this for me? Like fetch stuff, which is not really a big deal to do. Like for me, it's not fun to do. I can see for kids or something. Like, hey, they have a whole lot more to do in these Lego games. Even though I feel like they had a lot of shit to do before, and now it's just like added on. It's not done as well as some other games with the side quests, but it's something. It's okay. It's funny. The story's funny. How they incorporate like that Lego humor with the main story. Mm-hmm. It's all right. I think I would have liked it more years ago. I think I'm just I'm kind of probably a little over the whole Lego thing. Like I was just curious about this, like how it was, and yeah, it seems fine. Okay, so I'm still playing some more Persona 5 Strikers. I'm near the end now, I believe. Well, they're leading me to believe that this is the last castle I'm supposed to be going to. Because they said this is a castle who this guy's persona. Like everybody's it's a monarch in each section. Like there's different monarchs, and this is like the big leader who created the monarchs and things of that nature. So it's leading me to believe this is the last boss, but I don't know. They could something could happen, because I'm seeing a lot of things I didn't unlock yet, and I was like, not a lot, but a few things I couldn't unlock yet, and I was like, I guess maybe I'm not that close, or maybe unless there's a new game plus thing, I don't know. But yeah, I'm still enjoying it. The story is good. Like I'm still enjoying it. This is just as fun as a regular Persona game for me. Like they did a good job with this, because it just feels like a Persona game. It feels like more so than a Dynasty Warriors light game. So yeah, they did a real good job with this. Okay, so now some VR stuff I want to talk about. I played this new game called Swarm. Well, it's new to me. I forgot when it came out. Did it come out this year?
Let's see. 2001 or 2021. Sorry.
I'm about to say 2001.
Where have you been?
So 2021. Okay, so it's newish. Like you play as some guy who has these bungee wires that connects to platforms, and you can kind of shoot yourself around this level. It's not really a world. It's like it's a section of a place. Like you have borders and stuff like that, and then you kind of, and like we did hit the wall, like the visible walls, like you can see them, and they'll like bounce you. You just be bounced off. But you have to shoot also at the same time as you're connected to platforms and staying above the water or whatever, you cannot touch the ground, basically. Like, if you touch the ground, you lose. Now, you can do set, like, some modifiers to make it so that, hey, you don't die if you touch the ground. They bounce you back up. So they have those modifiers to help make it easier or harder. And you're supposed to be shooting these spaceships. Like, I guess the world's being invaded by some aliens or something like that. I don't know, robots. But these, like, spaceships coming by kind of reminds me of, like, a Galaga kind of thing. Like, spaceships just flying by and like a bullet hell shoot almost kind of. And you're just shooting them down. Then they have certain ones that can shoot missiles. So they be tracking you, so you have to move around or shoot the missile. They have stronger ones with shields and things of that nature. Yeah, it's fun because it feels like, I was saying, like swinging like Spider-Man, like you just swinging around the level and the verticality. Like, man, I can see people really getting dizzy or having motion sickness do this. Yeah. I'm glad I don't have that problem because I never got a headache from using it. The most I ever get is just like physically tired.
Right.
None of this stuff like visually gets me. Now, sometimes I do hit something in the house because I didn't realize how close I was. But other than that, yeah, I was okay because I was surprised. I was like, man, I'll probably be freaking, this will probably be really crazy, man. I wonder, can I do this? And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm not bothered by this. But I can see quite a few people have been bothered by this though. But if you're not, it's a fun game. Like, I really enjoy it. Through the campaign, I think I've got to the 3rd stage. Like, I'm supposed to be collecting these crystals or something like that, but I keep falling in the water. But I was doing it. But the game is fun. It's cool. They give you challenges. They have challenges. I think it's like a daily or weekly thing or something where, like they put a challenge up, like to try it out. It is multiplayer too. I haven't tried that though.
Okay.
So I know that could be freaking crazy. But
Can you swing with one hand at a time? I just wonder because this video I'm watching, he's doing both at the same time all the time.
Yeah, you can. You can, yeah. Yeah, because doing the tutorial, you're kind of just swinging with one hand at first, and then they teach you like, hey, you can use another hand, or you can go like Spider-Man, like you like one hand, like do like that.
I really dig the art style of it too. Like, it's very cell shaded.
Yeah, the cell shadedness, it's pretty cool. All right, so I also played a game called Rush. Very little. I just played a tutorial of this one. This is a skydiving game. Actually, no, I think I raced. Yeah, I did race. I lost. I lost, man. It was horrible. But it's like a skydiving. You go to the sky and you kind of go through the rings and stuff like that. Like, I think I hit the ground. I hit the wall and I just lost. I thought they would at least spawn me, like, to that point or something. No, they just made it so that I had to wait till the other guys come down while I'm on the ground. But they give you a lot of things you can pick up and play. Like, they give you a ball or something you can go around and do stuff with.
That's fun.
But it seems okay. I mean, it's not really my type of game, but I mean, it seems cool. It's not something I would be playing, a lot. I don't know if they have a demo out for it, but it seems all right. Like, if it's a demo, try it out. Because I just wonder, like, now you can do it different ways. You can either set it to read the motion of the controllers, like your arms.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to move your arms certain ways, or you can set it to your head. Just turn your head a certain way. I think there's another one too. I forgot what it was. I think I just set it to my arms, I think the first, because that seemed like that's the normal way. But the head it seemed a little too easy. It may be harder, like on the levels, like the tutorial was pretty easy. Just using the head motion, like just turning my head a certain way to get places. It didn't seem that hard. All right, so what else I played? I played a game called Until You Fall. That's another game I just played the tutorial of. This is a game where it's like a combat game. You get a dagger and or maybe a short sword, I don't know, and a long sword, and you're just battling like these undead creatures or something, and it's like a medieval kind of thing. And you can block, and they have a like some type of indicator of like how you block. You have to line it up with the indicator to block when the enemy's about to attack. And so it makes it more like a strategy kind of thing with it. And you got to hold your dagger or sword a certain way to block them, and then you have to attack them. You can break their armor and do like and get them like with a combo or some shit like that. It seems okay. I haven't played enough to really judge it. Like, I do want to try more of it. Yeah, it seems all right. It seems like a all right game. I don't know, like, is there like a deep story to it though or anything? Another game I tried. Well, I already talked about this game before. Synth Riders. I played just another stage and some other music, and now I said it's just different modes. Like, I didn't know, like, just like in Beat Saber, you got it where you can make it so that you have to turn. Like, you have an arrow say, hey, you have to turn your body this way,
right,
and get the things. Like, they have that too. But they also have a thing called Spiral. And I was like, what is Spiral? I said, so I tried it. It's that you gotta move your body because the actual balls he's supposed to hit, they start moving to the side. And I was like, oh, they're not in front of me. I was like, do I have to walk over there? I said, no, you just gotta kind of lean your body over. So you gotta lean your body a certain way to stay in front of the indicators to match them at the same time. It gets kind of hard. It gets pretty hard. But it was kind of cool too at the same time, especially when you're doing like the twists with the balls and stuff. It was like, oh, okay. It's like, yeah, this kind of makes it more, a little more difficult. And I don't know if you can do that and turn at the same time. You might can. I'm not sure. I think they gray it out, the Spiral. But yeah, that was like an added level difficulty to it. And yeah, that seems pretty cool. Like, that game is all right. Like, that with Beat Saber, like, Beat Saber uses vocal, music, and while this is more just like cyberpunk and dubstep and all that stuff, synth stuff, whatever. So I also played a new game called Tentacular. I think that just came out recently. So this game, you play as an octopus. Well, first you don't even know you're an octopus. Well, I know I'm an octopus, but the character in the game you're playing as doesn't know. Like, because this little girl comes and tells you that, like, hey, it's your birthday, and I have something to tell you that, look, you're not human. Like, you're an octopus. Like, I know I should have told you, but I didn't know how. So now I have to go find a job and what to do. And like, the world is almost like these little characters. Like, you're a big giant octopus and you're like basically over this town area. Like, first you start at the lighthouse because that's where you were born at, and that's where the girl took care of you. And like, you could pick up the people. Like, there was like little toys or something and stuff. You could pick them up and move them. And of course, I think you destroy buildings. I never tried to yet. I was just doing what they told me to do. But it looks so cute. Like, you're in this like a little toy world, almost like I guess like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood when he's in that little town and like with the train or something like that. So I had to find a job. So now I had to go somewhere where they had to say, hey, what am I good at? And they asked, can you do this? I said, no, I can do this. So all I could do was really just manual labor it came to. So they told me, hey, you have to stack these containers together. They're like the big, like containers you put on ships. Yeah. So I stacked them. You have to stack them a certain way because they say like you gotta put them like a T shape or some shit. So, and it has those physics, so it's kind of like toppling over when I kept doing it. But then I finally got it right. And then it has destruction, where I have to throw items at places just to for they can fall down. And you can use it looked like a telephone wire to use as a bungee, and then you go ahead and knock them down, like the farther ones that you can't just toss it and get them. It's the physics are pretty cool. It looks really nice. I wonder what it will get to like later on. Like, I don't think it's just be jobs. I wonder, can I just like go and destroy the town like a monster? That's what I really want to get to, and like just scare everybody and they don't run. But I like how when I think I went to like a government building, like how like say, hey, come in, and I was like, okay, what am I supposed to do? And then I saw like, oh, you lift the top of the building to open it, and you see the people inside because the people are mad at me. It's like, hey, you destroyed this, you did this, and blah blah blah. And I was like, so okay, I think that's before I found a job. So we gotta find some place where you go where you won't keep like hurting people and destroying stuff. But yeah, it's a cute game. It's cool. It seems really nice. That is it. I recorded some things. I recorded Tentacular. I think I recorded Swarm, and I might recorded all the games, but just probably very little. Like they're not long videos, but there's something. But yeah, so I guess we take a quick break, and when we get back, we get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. And now we're flashbacking to 2012, April this week. And not much games really mentioned. Like, nothing really big came out. You got the 3D classic Kid Icarus. It was basically like the original Kid Icarus on the 3DS. So people didn't get this free for like the Ambassadors program or nothing? Or
that's what I was thinking. It must have been part of the Ambassadors program, but it feels like it's too far now to be part of the Ambassadors program, right?
Yeah. It was like, hey, if you like that new one, players the very old one, which probably is better than the new one.
I don't know about all that, but
it's like I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. I'm not a Kid Icarus kind of guy. The new one wasn't really all that great to me. I mean, I don't know. I didn't really enjoy it. Put it like that. I played it. I didn't really enjoy it, and the story was Japanese as fuck. So I don't know what the hell is going on. So we got Blades of Time. It's with the nice looking lady on the front. She got these two blades, and I guess they take her through time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about this because it came on the consoles. So now it's on PC and they said Mac, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so they can use it. Let's say use it. They can play it. Made by Konami.
It's that sequel reboot kind of thingy of X-Blades, the one with the little anime girl on the cover showing her butt.
Yeah. She ain't showing her butt this time. You can just see her nice abs.
Showing her abs, exactly.
Yeah, those rock hard abs. I love them. Taking
Oculus, Dominic, you'll get there.
But this is the best version, apparently. It's 63 on PC compared to the other ones. Oh, that's the one I said, it was mostly like her dimensions. Oh, yeah, I remember now.
Yeah.
That these scores. All right, but they don't, you know what? So they don't review Mac games. Or they just
Nobody plays Mac games. Mac games don't exist, Dominic. Be realistic.
UEFA Euro 2012, which is a soccer game. And which is funny because when I click on it, it says FIFA 12. So I'm very confused.
Is that just the outside America version? Oh, okay. Here it is. It's released as an add-on to FIFA 12.
Oh, okay.
Unlike previous Euro games, it is a downloadable expansion pack for FIFA 12 requiring the game an internet connection. The expansion features an all-new game mode, Expedition, similar to World Tour mode in FIFA Street, where players create a customized character to bid against the European nations. Players can import their virtual pro into the mode. The story of the finals scenario mode from 2010 World Cup South Africa returns in the form of similar to FIFA 12 football club scenario. It includes all 53 UEFA member nations, although 24 of them are unlicensed, including co-hosts Ukraine and Poland.
How about Russia?
Good question. We took them out since then. I don't know who's, 53 UEFA nations. It feels like it has to cover a lot of nations. I wonder if they would remove them now. Like if I look at the website, they're like, they used to be here.
Because they did remove them from the game, right? The FIFA game?
Yeah. The national team.
The national team, yeah. They need to take all communists out of that game.
I am not finding a good list of names. That's all I'm looking for. Oh, here we go. UEFA Nations, Wikipedia. Still looking for just a list of names, people. Here we go. Nations. Russia. Yep, Russia is part of UEFA.
Oh, okay. So now they're not no more, probably. Until everything's calmed down. Well, I don't know. Maybe they just won't be. Because I can't imagine if there's a UEFA, they have Russia come right now.
Yeah.
Shucks, I don't know if Ukraine can come.
They don't have anyone to send, Dominic.
Yeah.
They're all fighting.
All right. So what we have here. Oh, yes. And last but not least, it was on a decent. I think it got okay scores. Let me see here. Yeah, I did. Prototype 2. And oh yeah, this one, the black man on front.
Uh-huh.
I don't know his name. What's his name? But Prototype was that game where you were, I don't know, possessed or got some science. You were part of a science project, and you could just transform your body, parts of your body.
Got a bladey arm.
Yeah, almost like a Venom kind of thing. Thing happening here. But you plays as James Heller. I guess that's what this guy name is. I don't know what the other guy name was, but I remember when the first game came out the same time as Infamous. Like that was the two games competing with each other. They were really similar in that retrospect. Yeah, let me see. James Heller can shapeshift and assume other people's identities and memories by consuming them. Oh God, he's a cannibal. The Metacritic scores they got is like 79 on PS3, 74 on Xbox. I don't know why that's lower. I guess somebody don't like Xbox. And PC got 76. So yeah, they got decent scores. It was an okay action game. Let me see what the plot is. The plot in this one is, in 2009, 1 year after the events of the first game, U.S. Marine Sergeant James Heller, returning from tour in Iraq, discovers his wife and daughter to be declared dead, causing him to rejoin the military in the fight for NYZ, which is, I don't know, New York City Zone? I don't know what that is. Against the Black Light virus. Heller is briefed on previous outbreaks in Idaho in the 60s. Who the fuck is even in Idaho? And the events of the first game. He later finds that... Alex Mercer. That was his name. Alex Mercer, the protagonist from the first game, has now lost faith in humanity and pursues him for vengeance.
He's the villain. Oh, no.
Oh, man. And in a confrontation with Mercer, Heller is infected with the strain that imbues him with similar superhuman abilities. After blacking out, Heller awakens in a Yellow Zone lab where Gentech scientist Dr. Anton Coyne and Blackwatch Colonel Douglas Rooks are experimenting on him. And there it goes from there. So I guess, the first game, the guy turns to be the villain. And then he fucking gave you a disease.
It's rough.
Damn shame. That's called rape, people. And somebody forces things on you. That's called
even
rape.
Rougher.
All right. Oh, that's it for 2012. And we go back 20 years to 2002. And there's only one game to mention. 2002 FIFA World Cup. This is when the World Cup took place in Japan and Korea. They go both. I guess people just said to fly or cross, or I don't know. Or took a rowboat. They took a rowboat back and forth. But yeah, so there was like a joint thing. This was the first FIFA Cup in an Asian country, as they said right here. Fuck it. They said it. And then it was something like, this is the first time the nations have said, this is the first held outside Americas and Europe. Oh, this is the first time just outside America and Europe, too.
Oh, okay.
As well as...
no way Antarctica, then.
Yeah, I gotta get up there one of these days. As well as the first to be jointly hosted by more than one nation. China, Ecuador, Senegal, and Slovenia made their World Cup debuts. Damn, so China's never been. That's until 2002.
And all those other countries didn't exist before then.
But yeah, I wonder why China didn't join for the longest.
They just didn't like soccer. They're like us.
Oh, the World Cup. I wish I liked soccer. Because I will always have something to watch all year round.
Yeah, there you go.
Unfortunately, I find it very boring. All right. That's it. That's all we have. So I guess we'll take a quick break. And when we get back, we get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. So let's get into the gaming news. So what we got?
All right, Dominic, in celebration of the new Sonic movie, and maybe more so in celebration of Sonic's 31st birthday, he can officially drink now. On June 23rd, we are getting the 31st.
Sonic... Is that Japan? They got to wait till 31 to drink?
No, it's in hedgehog years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You got to wait till 31. We're getting the Sonic Origins collection. This is going to include Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and Sonic CD. In case you haven't bought this same or very similar collection numerous other times in the past or played these games many other ways. Now you can play all of those games as Sonic, Knuckles, or Tails. And Dominic, I shit talk Nintendo about not making some of their old games available sometimes, but it's really seeming excessive at this point that Sega is just releasing these same Sonic games over and over again.
Yeah, exactly. Like Nintendo's like the opposite of that. Like they don't, while Sega does. It, like more like very excessive though. Like so much because they had what Sonic Classic and Sonic 2 Classic or something that came out on the freaking Switch. My friend, he bought the Sonic 2 one.
And aren't the Sonic games part of like the Sega online expansion pack stuff too?
I think so.
I mean,
but I don't know if it's all of them.
But,
I don't know. I think it's all of them though. Yeah.
It's just it's too much.
But I mean, I'm happy that they finally. I mean, they did it where you could play as all the characters in all the games.
Yeah, that is nice.
Now I don't know if Amy was like a side character in CD because I see her in this cartoon little trailer, and I was like, I don't remember Amy when I was young. I don't remember a female Sonic.
Yeah.
Like the only thing I remember is that female Fox that was on the TV series.
Yeah.
Not the funny one, the more serious Sonic show. But that's the only female I remember that in the Sonic series. So I don't know what's going on with that. They could have just made her a character too. Shit. I mean, why not? I mean, shit. Is
that the one where Sonic's like a fighter for Earth or something like that?
Oh yeah, he was a freedom fighter. They're the freedom fighters.
That's what it is. Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah. Yep, and his grandpa's a robot because he got turned by Robotnik because Robotnik turns everybody to robots. That was his thing.
Yeah,
and it was Robotnik, not Mr. Eggman.
It's Dr. Eggman.
As it should be. Yeah, Dr. Robotnik. But wait a minute, the Sonic movie is Dr. Robotnik, right?
Yeah, but I've heard some things about too that maybe they put those they use them both.
He's not even round. Like he got a suit, unless he got a suit or something that makes him like an egg.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Maybe they're going to replace him with an egg-shaped person since Jim Carrey's talking about wanting to retire.
Oh, you retired from just acting? Oh.
That's what he was saying.
I guess I'll get it eventually. $39.99? I don't know. I think that's a little too much.
And there's a deluxe edition, and then there's like 2 other editions.
That should be the deluxe edition.
Things.
Unless, what deluxe edition comes with?
Oh, what does it come with? It comes with like a hard mode and some soundtrack stuff. And
the hard mode is part of the deluxe edition?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I was the thing that disappointed me was that I saw this title and I was like, oh, are they doing like another Sonic Mania? And then it was just
that's what I thought
collection.
too, Daniel. When I saw like that cartoon, I was like, oh my God, it's Sonic Mania 2. And then I saw it was just a game. It's like, but I was thinking it's gonna be like $20 or something.
Yeah. Like,
even though I think that's much, but I would. I mean, that's all right. I would say, fuck it, $20. Damn it. But $40, and I mean, these are Genesis games, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Oh, you want to get really angry here, Dominic?
No.
The hard mode is included in the deluxe edition, and also character animation in the main menu is included only in the deluxe edition.
What the fuck?
Camera controls over the main menu islands and character animations during music islands.
How much does the deluxe edition cost?
I think it's like $45.
Oh, it's $5 more.
It's $45.
It's still stupid. I mean, that's just, oh my God, that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Freaking Sega. But yeah, I mean, they should have had more games then. Like, if you're going to do that, $40, put a Sonic Spinball, put in Sonic 3D, E-Blast, that stupid one, and put in the Game Gear games.
I was going to say Game Gear, Game Boy Advance games.
Yo, do that, man. Like, do all the, like, the 2D ones at least.
Also, why didn't they do this last year? This is the 31st anniversary.
I just thought about that. I was thinking about that. It's the 31st. Wait a minute. Yeah. Not the 30th. Oh, COVID. COVID fucked it up.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Call this year a redo.
You know, somebody could have done this. Somebody could have done. One person could have done this thing in their home. I mean, it would just been the production of the disc and the cartridge for it. But they could have just put it, say, hey, you get it digital. We'll get the other ones out as soon as we can.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. All right, so Dominic. Sorry.
Oh, look at this. They helping his Hulk. I'm watching the veterinarian people saving this bird here.
This isn't on Twitch, is it?
No, this is on TV. Actual TV. All right, go ahead.
Next up in the news, Dominic, we got a new update for Marvel's Avengers. It's getting a new character just in time for Thor: Love and Thunder. It is getting female Thor, Jane Foster. I saw a lot of people complaining about this because, one, there was a leak out that happened a while ago that had like She-Hulk and somebody else I can't remember as characters that were potentially coming. But the other main reason is because, it's another Thor. Like, we already got another Hawkeye, and we already got who's the other one that we got two of, basically?
Who do we have two of?
I don't know. Shit. Now I'm blanking. Damn.
I mean, there was Black Panther, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Is there another Iron Man? Is there another?
No, I don't think there's another Iron Man.
No, I mean, I
guess maybe it is just the Hawkeye. I thought somebody complained about there to be in two other ones.
Or maybe let's say it felt like somebody was the same as someone else.
Yeah, but even like She-Hulk would have been the same as Hulk, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So wait a minute, people were okay with that, but I
mean,
it's because of the Jane Foster thing, right? It was just more a mention
that, hey, this other character was supposed to be in here. I don't think they were saying instead of that would have been better. It was just like, I'm surprised it's
I think people would, because the Jane Foster thing was a lot of controversy with that.
Yeah.
She-Hulk always been around.
How can a lady be mighty, Dominic? How could it be true? How could she be worthy? I think that's the best part, right? This is
weird, because I wonder how people felt when She-Hulk came.
Yeah.
But the internet wasn't around.
See, Dominic, on Mjolnir, it says he who is worthy, and then a lady picked it up, so that's not fair.
Yeah.
And then it changed it to
they should have had a lady hammer that was pink.
Good Lord. So I see you've been down the tool aisle at a Walmart.
I'm sure I think I seen one. But I don't know if that was a toy or not.
No, they're real ones. I mean, as real as a cheap hammer at Walmart is going to be.
They bust heads, basically. You can bust somebody's head with it.
Exactly. All right. I mean, it's interesting that they're still supporting it, but at the same time, I'm surprised they're still supporting it, and I'm not surprised that they're...
Well, then again, talk about the other game they're still supporting.
They're supporting Outriders. Outriders.
I wish it was Outsiders. That's what is that? That's the is that Marvel, right? Or is that DC? I forget.
I don't know.
Because there's a group outside. Yeah. I think it was. I want to say Marvel. Oh no. That is DC. That's DC.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. There was an Outsiders film in 1983. I don't think that's the same thing. All right, but
no,
but yeah, it's surprising that like Square Enix are still supporting these games that did not do well for them. But
shit! Yeah, I didn't even think about it. Outriders is also a Square Enix game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's. I mean, I don't know. Outriders. It feels like they. Well, I'd say they have to, but like more so Avengers, I feel like they have to because it's Marvel. So they're like, we spent a lot to license this. We better get every single dime we can out of it. And also prove to Marvel
when did these games come out? Outriders came out in 2020 or 2021?
2021, the very beginning.
God damn, it feels so long ago.
Yeah.
It feels like I played that like 3 years ago. Good God. That game, man, it's just the way it's so like nobody played it and talked about it. But
no, I remember like that being the joke during the Game of the Year stuff is like people being like, if I told you Outriders came out this year. Would you believe me? It's like, no. Yeah, came out
And
last
then
year.
that means Avengers came out end of 2020 then.
Yep.
That's not that long ago either.
No, not in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, it's interesting. I think I guess they got to try something with Outriders. Like they probably have people working on that. Like, we could just cut them off right now, but let's just let them ship this stuff and
It's like
see how it
the
goes.
game is not. I mean, like for me, it's not bad. It's just I don't care for the Destiny like stuff, like the whole shooting. Like maybe they could have just made like a Gears of War light or something.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, the Destiny stuff is like the entirety of what they wanted, right?
Yeah,
like the whole live service thing.
But they won it for both of them.
Yeah,
that's what's fucked up. It's like Square Enix is going to have these two games that's very similar in style come out months after each other, from each other. It's crazy.
Yep. All right, Dominic, speaking of live service games, we're getting an update for Call of Duty Warzone. It's called Operation Monarch. It's going to start on May 11th, and it's going to have Godzilla and King Kong in it. There's a nice little trailer out with them facing off. Depending on like their level of involvement in your gameplay, that could be really cool. If they're just fighting in the background, it's like, whatever. But if like their destruction is what signifies the circle or something like that, that could be a really neat thing.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I'll watch that on Twitch.
Exactly. Exactly. Just like the concerts in Fortnite. It's like, I'll check that out. Check out a YouTube video. Yeah, so that looks cool. There's a little trailer for that, just them facing off.
Oh, I forgot to mention, I looked at it like a video of like a YouTube VR, I believe. Yeah, a video of Fortnite when the new world destroyed. Like when they got the new world, it gets destroyed. And
wow.
Okay. Yeah, and it was in VR, so it was like you were in the world while I was doing that crazy shit. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. That seems pretty cool. I was like, yo, Fortnite, I know they gotta be working on like a VR kind of thing, man. I mean, shit.
That would be pretty sweet. Get them kids trapped in there early, Dominic.
Yeah.
Screw up them eyes. All right, next up, Dominic, speaking of VR, we got an announcement for Ghostbusters VR. I just had a little trailer for this. It looks like it's going to be like a 4-player thing.
Yeah.
They didn't really say like they didn't say like co-op necessarily, but it seems like that might be what this ends up being.
Yeah, you could play single player co-op, I saw.
They did say single player.
Yeah, they did say single player.
Gotcha.
There is single player to it. So I'm guessing, single player / co-op. Or, I don't know if it's, it will have to be only online, because how the hell else do you play? You share a VR headset. But anyway.
You get one eye, get the other.
I'm excited for this. I know I'm going to be scared of shit, but I'm going to force myself to play it because I do like Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And that seems like pretty cool fun to try that out.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems neat. All right, Dominic, next up in things that you enjoy, there's going to be a new Tales of Borderlands game coming this year, allegedly. There's going to be more details coming this summer, but basically they just came out and said, hey, there's new adventures in Tales of Borderlands series. And I know you have highly praised that game as possibly one of the best from Telltale. So what do you think? Excited?
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, this is a big surprise. I didn't expect nothing like this to happen. Yeah. So, I'm excited to continue that story because that was a good story. And I didn't even like the content they did with them in the new game, in the Borderlands 3. It wasn't that great with the two characters I remember seeing. I don't know if the women characters were in there. Maybe they were. I just don't remember them. But the two male protagonists, I was like, I didn't like that. Like their setup in this, because I mean, I think it's more of like I want to know what happened. Like, okay, I say, wait a minute. So how did y'all get to this moment? Like from the ending of the Tales game. I hope it turns out to be pretty good.
Yeah, it's very cool. On some other news, Dominic, we got XenoBlade 3. Its release date, originally sometime in September, is now coming out in July on the 29th. So it's actually getting pushed up, Dominic. I think that's a first in video game history.
Yeah, because if you would say like the way you wrote it, just September to July 29th, I would think like, damn, the game coming next year till July. I say, damn. They pushed it. They pushed it back. I would never have thought they pushed it up. Yep. Like a freaking Nintendo game.
You see what happened, Dominic, is they gave up on working on Zelda so they could push this game out, and now they got everybody that was supposed to be working on Zelda working on this game.
Well, I'm wondering. I mean, because it's Monolith, so I think Nintendo just buy them. I'm wondering if there's Nintendo guys who work on it too. I don't know how that works with this game.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just like it's just their own people, because they were doing their own thing. They were with Namco, Bandai. Oh, I don't know if they were Namco Bandai. Yeah, I think they were Namco Bandai at the time. I'm not sure. But then Nintendo got them, and I don't know if they merged staffs or something like that. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But it's still crazy. I mean, for a game like this type of game, for a type like a RPG, I never heard of an RPG getting pushed up. Like, oh, we're going to get done early.
Yeah, even by a couple of months.
Yeah.
Everything is scraping by right at the very end.
If anything, it'd be like, even like a week later or something, it's like, that's not a big deal, but it's like, that's the, yeah, I don't, yeah, that is weird. I mean, good for those guys. I mean, good for the fans who get to play this game early. It'll be fucked up. This game came with a lot of bugs. It'll be the first like Nintendo game to come with so many bugs too. It's like, It's a first for everything. What else we got here?
All right, Dominic. So it sounds like the reason they moved that up is to get out of the way of Splatoon 3, which also got a release date this week, and that's coming out September 9th.
And that begs the question, Daniel. Like, this game is is this game basically done then? Xenoblade, and that's the only reason they had it come out at the time they were going to have it come out.
Maybe, because September, you're starting to get into the holiday season. You're just kind of right there on the cusp of, you're not quite, that's not quite when you're going to release your biggest games. You still got like a month or two there, October, November sometime. But yeah, September's, you're right there on the prime spot. So maybe they were like, oh, we don't know if we're going to get Splatoon in there or something like that. So let's put Xenoblade in there as kind of a placeholder for right now.
Get held. I don't really hear stories of games getting held. I just assume they might happen.
Yeah, but we also just don't have as much transparency in games, right? Like, who knows what's going on behind the scenes with a lot of
I already told you what happened in Japan. Those people you probably seen in the credits are dead.
Goodness, Dominic. Yeah. Along with that news, though, Nintendo also announced that as part of the expansion pack for the online, the extra fee that you pay to get like the 64 games and the Sega Genesis games and the Animal Crossing DLC, they're now adding the Splatoon 2 Octo expansion DLC to that. So that's that stuff that had some of the single player focused stuff. So if you got Splatoon 2 and want to check that out, if you got Expansion Pass, maybe gets you a little bit closer to thinking that Expansion Pass is worth it.
About that, I need to call him and tell me, hey, get me on your family plan so I can try this shit out.
Yeah. Yep. Family plan is the way to go. All right, Dominic, in some other news, some Sega news, we're going to bounce back to them real quick. Bloomberg is reporting that apparently Sega is basically wanting to turn Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio into their Fortnite.
Oh, yes. What does that mean?
I think Fortnite is just their the shorthand of big, huge, popular game. It's shorthand for that.
Oh, okay.
I can't imagine they want to turn it into a third-person shooter. But probably they want to turn it into a metaverse product, maybe get everybody online playing together. I I could maybe see combining those two worlds.
What's the genre Fortnite is? I forgot what it's called.
What genre is it? Battle Royale.
Yeah, Battle Royale. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So it's not gonna be a Battle Royale crazy taxi where you just pick up who can pick up the most people and take it to the place. and then it closes in. It closes in, yep. And then until it stops at a certain point, and then it says, "Hey, who picked up the most passengers?"
Yeah. I could see them combining those two games into like an online kind of hangout groove kind of place. I mean, Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio both had like what the kids nowadays would call vibes to them, right?
Yeah.
Like Jet Set Radio is very artistic.
Oh, kids still use vibes?
I don't know. Do old people who think they know what the kids are talking about say vibe? I don't know. I need to spend more time on TikTok, I guess. But I could see them like kind of melding worlds and having people driving around in crazy taxis and also some people skating around and stuff. I just don't know that either of those two properties have the cachet to become anywhere near the level of a Fortnite. Because even I ogled over Jet Set Radio forever, like thinking it was the coolest thing in the world. And then that Xbox game came out and I tried like the demo of it on live and it was just like, oh, this isn't great. Like I want it to be more like Tony Hawk, I guess. And it wasn't.
Yeah.
So
I guess
I don't know.
You think they're gonna it's gonna be Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio or combined? They're gonna be combined.
I mean, if they have any interest in making either of them as big as a Fortnite thing, I feel like you have to combine them because you can't
make two of them, right?
You can't divide your attention between them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta make it so like if you Jet Set Radio, you're waiting for people in Crazy Taxi to pick you up to take you to
exactly. Or stitching on the back of the car, using people's Crazy Taxi to get up speed. Teamwork. So I don't know. Crazy Taxi also is another one that like it works in arcades, but it really didn't work as a home thing to me because it's
gotta be a lot of levels.
Arcadian short.
Yeah, but it has. I mean, for a game like that, for me, is like you gotta make a lot of different levels, like a lot of different worlds to keep it interesting. You gotta add
wasn't the case, right? Like those games had like 2 levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't because I got bored of that shit real quick. I was so excited when it came to PlayStation. My friend got it. I played it. I was done after a week. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I said, it's pretty much over. I said, this ain't no Grand Theft, because now you got Grand Theft Auto. I was like, darn, at least Grand Theft Auto has a taxi thing. I mean, it's not crazy. I mean, like Crazy Taxi, or like the style. Yeah. It's not stylized like Crazy Taxi, but I also going to do a whole lot of other shit. Right. In the game.
Yeah. So we will see how that works out for Sega.
Oh, they're trying to save a bald eagle right here.
Oh. Is it just bird day today or is this a bird program?
It must be a bird program. I don't know.
Okay. All right, Dominic, speaking of older games and properties, apparently Nintendo's Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advanced emulator for the Nintendo Switch has leaked out, including references to games like Golden Sun, Mario Kart, Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire Pinball, Link's Awakening DX, Minish Cap. That would get me more excited, especially if they added it to the expansion pack.
Oh, you definitely know it is. I think everything from now on is going to be added to the expansion pack.
Unfortunately, yes. But if they did add that to the expansion pass, now we're talking. Because I think I also saw like Metroid Fusion.
It has a big tongue.
Bald Eagle does?
I mean, it has a big tongue. I'm just seeing like its open mouth right now.
Does it wrap around its brain like a woodpecker?
I don't know. I mean, it's like sticking out. It's just like I just see his mouth open.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I am here for Game Boy Advance games on the Switch, Game Boy Color as well, and Game Boy. What do you think, Dominic? Is this any motivation for you, or is it just like, oh yeah, it's more games?
I don't know. It's a little motivation to me to jump on my friend's family plan. I think that's what it's motivation for me to do.
Yeah.
But no, that's cool. This is what we wanted, right? We wanted to get to all these games.
Absolutely.
I just hope they don't be slow like they put out. We put out 3 games, and then we gotta wait some more, like 3 more games. And it's like, come on, man, just put them out, man. Shit.
Yeah, because they did just announce, I think, like Sonic Spinball is coming to the expansion pass. It's like, oh, yay, more Sega games, like 2 at a time or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are...
Because it's not like we're buying those games. We already bought the pass. So
right.
It's different than, like, you trying to sell a game and not put them all out at the same time. I get that. People, but this is like, you're buying the pass, man. Just fucking put them out.
Yep. Ridiculous, Dominic. All right, in some other news, we got Amy Hennig. She is going to be working on a Star Wars game again.
Is she actually going to finish a project? It seems like the last 2 things she worked on, and she has to stay long enough to finish.
I saw a lot of comments about that.
There are? Oh, God.
Yeah, basically saying like, call me when she actually does something.
I'm not blaming her. I'm just saying, like, it seems like the places she was at.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of them she left, but the other place I think they just shut down or something. So
like she was working on what they were calling Project Ragtag, which was basically, it was a Star Wars property. It sounded like it was going to be like Uncharted meets Han Solo, bounty hunter type thing. And that was at Visceral, the people who made Dead Space, and then EA shut them down. So now she's working at Skydance New Media. They already announced an action-adventure, narrative-driven Marvel game.
Look at the bird trying to fly away. Oh, there he goes.
Was he struggling?
No, it's gone now.
Oh,
it can fly. Yay! They saved it. This is a bird thing because I think places that's called owl. I guess they save birds.
Very nice. Yeah, so I guess at some point, I'm sure we talked about it, they announced that they were working on an action-adventure Marvel game, and now they're also working on an action-adventure Star Wars game. So now I lean more towards like, do we get a game finished out of the studio? Because come on.
Yeah, exactly.
You've already got Marvel and Star Wars under your belt, but we haven't seen a single piece of media from either of these games. Like, let's maybe slow down the pace here a little bit. Although I will say that Amy Hennig, her stuff is more story related, so maybe she's done with the story of the Marvel one, and the development just needs to happen, and she's working on the Star Wars one now. Exactly.
Like she's just a writing. She's not. Yeah. So I just like her because the games I played that she's written for has been pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard she did the Uncharted series and the Legacy of Kain series.
Yeah.
So hopefully we will get something out of Amy Hennig, and hopefully they are real fun games. So we'll see.
She should do the Kingdom Hearts, the new Kingdom Hearts one too. Maybe she can. I'll get back on board.
Can you just fix this, please? Make it less anime.
Help me make this help make it make sense, please.
All right. So the last one I got here, Dominic. This one's actually from last week. I had missed it. I think it happened on like Friday, the day before we recorded last week's podcast, but you reminded me of it. So there's some stuff out there about new ad integration for the Xbox that's going around. It sounds like they're basically trying to build a platform where developers can find, ad sponsors and vice versa. Ad sponsors can find games to be in. Reading into it, I don't know how I feel about it, because I am totally okay with there being realistic ads when it's appropriate in a game. If we're talking about
there's a break and there's a commercial, you have to hit you gotta wait a few seconds to go back in your game or hit something.
Yeah, fuck that.
I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's gonna go that far.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that. Especially if you
definitely hope not. Otherwise, every game I buy from now on will be on PC and be modded to remove that trash.
Yeah, because that's just those free phone game shits. And like I'm saying, like if it's that, first of all, it's a free to play game. I'm usually not trying to. That's why I spec, so I don't even fucking touch it. Mm-hmm. But it's a game I bought and it does that. It's horrible. But I don't. Yeah. Until that happens, I'm not going to just assume it's going to happen because I haven't seen it yet, and I don't think that's what it means. With that, that's why I was very confused when people were like showing that and being upset. I was like, yeah, I'll be upset at that, but is that what they're saying they're going to do?
Yeah, because if we're talking about a sports game with banners on the sidelines or a racing game with billboards around, like
that already
I've
happened.
got absolutely no problem with that having a big old Pepsi ad or whatever on it.
I mean, they already do that.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, now I guess people are trying to just think of games that don't usually have ads, like Skyrim. Like, oh, they could have an ad. I was like, I don't think it's going to be them.
No, but you know what? I'll be honest with you. If it's clever, like if it's like a Pepsi ad, but in Skyrim
it's a potion.
like PepsiCo malt beverage or whatever, and very stylized to the point where I can barely tell it's an ad. Like, okay, fine, that's maybe I'm just
it heals
maybe I'm
you.
selling my soul here, but
it heals you and give you speed, and for a moment in time, for a moment in time, but then you go crash really hard though after a while.
Yeah, I think that would be fine, to be honest with you, but I don't see them even going that route because, like you said,
another soccer
the
game.
Skyrims are
Jesus fucking Christ! Come on,
it's just soccer and birds all the way down to
this is the Challenge Cup. I think it's in the U.S.
Sure, we challenge people all the time.
I was seeing some like Xbox fanboys. Okay, I was seeing some Xbox like fanboys, like people, because people are attacking Xbox on this, so they was like trying to defend Xbox, saying, "Oh, Sony put a patent in for ads like years ago for it," and I was like, "So what?" I mean, like, yeah, saying ads, yeah, it sucks, but I'm like, I don't know, like, this might not be a big deal. But also by like defending it, like saying, "Oh, because Sony put a patent in for it." It's like, what the fuck, man? It's like if it's bad, it's bad, yo. I don't give a fuck if somebody did something else like that was bad. Then I don't like that either. It's like I think when people saw that patent years ago, I remember I think I vaguely remember them talking about that. People didn't like it either because people were doing jokes about that. I think the same jokes that they're doing now. So it's not a. I was like, yo, and what has Sony done with that since then? Right. That's the thing. And so it's
Yeah, like or even the Xbox Connect stuff where you have to like stand up and yell out you have to yell out French fries or something like that.
Yeah. All right. So is that it for news?
That's what I saw for news. Anything you wanted to talk about?
Nah, I think we're good. I think you said everything I pretty much mentioned.
All right. We'll go on to these new releases, Dominic. We got Postal 4 No Regrets now out on the PC. Apparently that is a terrible game. It's been in early access for a while now, but just released now. The IGN review I saw of it was a 2 out of 10. Said it was painful.
Yeah, I've been seeing I was like, Postal 4. You said 2 out of 10? God damn.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind. I'm not going to try to look at that game then.
It might still be worth it, Dominic, if you want to like hose down a pile of shit or whatever I saw in that trailer. And then you also maybe have a pile of shit here. Star Wars The Force Unleashed on the Nintendo Switch. Apparently it's not great. And you know my feelings on that game, Dominic. I really enjoyed that game a lot. I had problems with things like the load times, which maybe if I played it on the PC nowadays wouldn't be an issue. I don't know how that thing loads on there. But it sounds like this Switch version is not particularly great because once again, it's the Wii version. Because why?
Oh yeah, we talked about that. It was going to be the Wii version, not the PlayStation or Xbox version.
Yeah, so this is like low effort content right there, Dominic.
That's ridiculous. But now I remember you saying, like I was saying, this is the Wii version. It's like, but we say, hey, if it still loads great and do stuff, that'll be fine.
Yeah.
But since it didn't, it's like, god damn, y'all some assholes, man. What the hell y'all gonna put out this bullshit version for? Now, is the load time still are bad on this?
I haven't seen one way or the other specifically about that.
But the visuals, so the visuals look pretty bad. That's what you're saying? Like,
not great. Yeah, okay. They're definitely.
Are they at least better than the Wii? Or they're just, they're just the same?
They're a little sharper, it looks like, but not good.
You could have just done the Xbox version, man. Because the Weverse is technically almost equivalent to like a PlayStation 2 or something.
Right, exactly. Which is why it's just so ridiculous. It's disappointing. I mean, I'd really like to see, like, if you're going to do something with the Force Unleashed, put that out on the new consoles, put that out on the PC, give it a nice fresh coat of paint or something like that. Make it look good, make it run well. But I don't know. I mean, I guess that's sort of, in a way. I mean, obviously it's not the same story, but gameplay wise, an improved version of that is basically Fallen Order, right? So
yeah,
gotta get back to that game at some point, Dominic. Yeah, so those are the new releases this week. Not particularly a lot. So
yeah,
anything else?
Pretty short
people,
podcast. Nah, I got nothing else, man.
All right. Thank you guys as always for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic is at DStallworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at Supapod, SUPAPOD. Supapod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other places you can find podcasts. Until next time, guys, talk to you later.
All right, see ya.